Hi, True Crime Grapevine fans. Okay, it's me, Patti Lee, your favorite dyslexic detective. We are on to our 7th and 8th case. These are the cases that I like to call crazy like a fox, or, just crazy. Okay, why do I say that? So, number 1, we have Letitia Stout. I think crazy like a fox. I don't think we really have some cray-cray going on here. Why? Okay, I think she's playing games. It took me forever to look up all these cases, and I am so sorry that I don't have this specifically, but I think this was her third. I think she's been checked for mental competency. I think this was the third time. I think she was found competent at least once before. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so, excuse me. Okay. That's what happens when you drink coolers. They're bubbly and they make you burp. All right. I know. Like, welcome to the world, right? And that's the great content you get on the True Grapevine. Oh no, now I'm gonna hiccup. And my kitties are very excited to be here. They don't know why I'm not upstairs already. If you think cats aren't like dogs, then you're not raising them right, because my cats are very similar. My dog's like a cat. Okay, again, ADHD medicine is all out of my system. I'm just being crazy. And speaking of crazy, we're back to Letitia. Okay, Letitia Stout allegedly killed her stepson, Gannon, in 2020. In March of 2020. Or, excuse me, was it March when she did it? I can't even describe. The scene is horrific. I think it involved a gunshot and other beatings. And she's a terrible person. And then she lied and said he was at a friend's and she didn't know where he was. It was January, I think. Anyways, they're in Colorado. Then she shoved him somehow in a suitcase, drove him across the country. She was from South Cackalack, South Carolina, where the Murdochs are from. And, but she either stopped on the way or after she was in South Cackalack, went down to Florida and threw a Gannon in his pajamas, in his blanket, inside a suitcase, off, like below a bridge. She's a horrible, awful human being, if this is all, allegedly. Anyways, and then she went home and continued to lie about, I don't know, he was at a friend, I don't know where he went. Okay, obviously we all know, with technology, we know where cars go, we know where phones go. Okay, so when they located Gannon and he was laid to rest, they could figure out who did it. Anyways, she's been in jail since March of 2020 without any bond. I believe at first she had, I don't know if she was court-appointed lawyer or had a lawyer. I believe she's been like, first she tried to escape on her way from South Carolina when she was extradited back to Colorado. And then when she was in El Paso, Texas on the way, maybe that's when she tried to escape. She's tried to escape a couple times. She seems to be a liar. She claimed she had a PhD, which she never had. I don't even know if she had a teaching degree. She's basically like a pathological lie, a horrible person, allegedly, in my opinion, just from what I've seen. I can't say that for sure. But anyway, so it's been 2 years. And when people say, first of all, they found out she did it pretty fast. So good job, law enforcement. But when trials take so long, a lot of it is some of these people now have figured out how to play the system. They just are like effing around because what else do they have to do? They've ruined their lives at this point. Now they're just going to mess with the rest of us. So she first was represented, and I think she was found competent then. And then, no, I'm going to represent myself. And then she did all this crazy stuff representing herself and then acted crazy and wanted to be evaluated again, I think. And now, then she said she was not guilty and had new lawyers, and now but they allowed her to change her plea, and she said by reason of insanity, and they did another evaluation, and that came back, and you want to guess what it is? Yep. Well, the judge hinted that, like, okay, let's set a date, which was mean that she was found competent, like before. But her lawyers want her to have a second one, and they want it to be at the state mental hospital in Chicago, and they want it to be where she's not tested in the jail, but at the mental hospital, which of course is a security risk, which she's already tried before. We will see what happens. So we're going to see there's a hearing set for September 15th at 1:30 to discuss like how we're going to do this second evaluation, this independent evaluation. I mean, I think she's trying to figure out how to get it right. Maybe? I don't know. I do think she's, like, the thing is, you can be a sick person and do sick, horrible criminal things, but that doesn't mean you're incompetent. Incompetent means you didn't know what you were doing is wrong. And I refer you to Andrea Yates, who actually was mentally incompetent at the time she did horrific acts. That is what that looks like. In my opinion, I'm just saying. Letitia's lucky she's not in Texas. That's all I have to say. So we will find out on September 16th more about her. All right. The other case, I'm just going to put these two together because it's our other crazy like a fox or just like crazy. Lori Vallow, speaking of, so she was in court. I believe we talked about it. She made all kinds of weird grinning faces. Okay. Acted like a nutball, but not like incompetent, but just like, so narcissistic, which we've seen her on Wheel of Fortune. We know that's Lori, right? Now, there was two things that happened. One was a sealed hearing. This time it was like properly sealed in the way things are normally sealed. They didn't just like hold something and then just write in the records like, no, you can't look at this, it's sealed. They like formally applied through the process and said this will be sealed for this blah, blah, blah reason. And they said, and commentators like Steve Wright and Lori Hollis, who is sometimes on the Hidden True Crime podcast, they pointed out like, look, this is how you should have been doing it, and according to Idaho standards anyways, which was why Lori Hollis, that was part of her complaint, for more transparency. And so they are, even though they're not being so much transparent, at least they're doing it in the appropriate way. It hints that it was something about either talking about Lori's past competency issues, and there's something that so we're in these like, we're in pretrial motions because this trial is happening supposedly in January, and that's not very long. And so this is all the preliminary trial motions, which if you watch Emily D. Baker, she calls them motions in limine, which are pretrial motions. She jokingly says motions in lemonade, but they're motions in limine, which means prior to court. So are they arguing about how to mention, what happened? Because that could prejudice the jury. They're getting ready, this is the big questions are about like jury selection and what can be said to the jury, what can't, what will prejudice a jury, what won't. Which is kind of why some people think they're keeping everything under seal and quiet because they don't want the jury pool to be prejudiced. We will see. Or, God forbid, is Lori going back into the mental hospital? Are they discussing it? Because remember, a couple months ago, her attorney said something about her mental status is fragile. There's fragility there or something. So, I mean, she does look crazy when she smiles like a crazy person. But is she crazy like a fox? With Lori, I mean, did you see her hair? Her roots are showing. So when she was in the mental hospital, part of mental health was that they were allowed some minimal beauty treatments, like getting your hair colored. I don't think you get that in jail. If you noticed, when Lori's hair was pulled up, you could see her roots were coming in. And I would not put it past Miss America Smile at the cameras. I would put it past her to maybe, she knows how to be in the, I don't know. It would be horrible if she could fake it just to get her hair done. But she's very much into her looks, and it's much easier, I think, there. So I don't know. The other thing is her lawyers don't want cameras in the court anymore. Once was enough. They said there were cameras purposefully making her look ridiculous, prejudicing her case. They zoomed in on her, and I'm like, and so Nate Eaton, because East Idaho News is one of the is the pool camera, and I believe there's a second camera in there, maybe Law and Crime. But anyways, Nate was like, look, we're not doing special zoom-ins. We're not doing anything special. We were just showing Lori being Lori. So maybe they'll just have one pool cam. I mean, I don't know if they'll get anything. If there will be new parameters added by Judge Boyce, I don't know. But the thing is, Lori loves a camera. She does. That's the problem for the defense, who they are defending. She's not going to look normal. She's not going to act normal. It's not that she's incompetent. She's just very vain, and she loves a camera because the camera loves Lori. And she's a goddess, don't you know? So crazy like a fox or just crazy? You decide. So those were the two issues in the Lori Vallow and Letitia Stout case. I will have my next court update. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.